CzarThwomp here, and welcome to episode 21 of Dual Destinies. Last time, we were cross-examining Laurent Lebel, during which he was trying to state that he was eavesdropping on the Fox chamber, and then he ran over into the hallway with the phone, but then we proved that he wasn't, and then basically he was trying to hide the fact that he knew about that he was there during the murder, but he's about to reveal that he knows about the statue, so let's go. You said the statue was like a celebration of union between town and village. Isn't that correct? It is indeed, but what of it? The two yokai are joining hands in goodwill, as if they were celebrating the municipal merger. Something the matter? So, how did you really know that the statue was meant to be a symbol of goodwill again? What? I hate my life. Justice Dono, explain yourself and make it quick. This statue was meant to symbolize goodwill in its original form, but that was a secret. A secret? Whatever do you mean? What I mean is that it broke when someone used it to strike Mayor Tenma on the head. What's left clearly makes it look like the two yokai are battling it out. Eep! The statue's secret and its true form were lost inside that locked room, for Miss Tenma is the only living soul who should know what it once looked like. So, Mr. Lebel, where could you have possibly seen the statue in its original form? What do you mean? The only possible answer is this. You saw the statue in its original form. Wait, no! Right here in the room where the altar was murdered, where it was broken. Okay, I was trying to see just the history. Okay, it was where? For a second I thought that said whore. Lebel did say, you whore! How dare you! You whore! Mr. Justice, are you accusing the witness with some sort of crime? Yes I am. Laurent Lebel, I accuse you of the murder of Alderman Rex Scooby! Ah! Order! Mr. Lebel, you've been accused of murder. Do you have anything to say in your defense? How could you possibly accuse me, the embodiment of beauty? Way to go, Apollo. This is the conclusion we needed. Magnifico! We've got you now! We know you killed the alderman. Now admit it!
Silence!
Enough of your silly games, Justice Dono. This prancing peacock could not possibly be the killer.
Objection!
What are you talking about? His alibi is already crumbled to dust. And I just proved that he was in the Fox chamber while it was still locked tight.
Silence!
Why could he not have seen the statue in its true form before the murder? After all, he was close friends with the alderman. Ergo... Yes, that's right. I clearly remembered it now. Alderman QB told me about it. What the statue actually looked like. I mean, he was a good friend of mine.
Objection!
Yeah, right. He wouldn't show you a secret gift just like that.
Silence!
Moreover, it has already been proven that he was not present at the scene of the crime. It has... Forgotten, have we? Recall the little scam statement, if you will. When Jinxie Tenma unlocked the Fox chamber, she saw the alderman and the mayor collapse therein, and no one else. Oh, dang it! The fact is, it was you two who made that apparent in yesterday's court session. Thus, Laurent Lebel could not possibly have been in that locked room. Oh! No! Oh! I just don't get it! How could Jinxie not have seen Lebel? The proof is incontrovertible. No room for debate exists. And, am I not right, your boldness? It does seem awfully conclusive. The facts point to the defendant and the victim being the only people in that locked room.
Moreover, the defendant has already confessed.
Objection! Silence.
You cannot defend the indefensible. Your role in the charade is over, Justice Dono.
But!
Your boldness? This trial would last an eternity if we were to keep crossing blades with these simpletons. It is high time you brought down the hammer of justice.
A point well made. I believe it's time to declare a verdict. This court finds the defendant, Damian Tenma.
It would seem that my time is at hand.
Mere Tenma?
Counselor, there's a matter to which I must testify. I recall it now only for your good graces.
Counselor, oh right, he must be me. Has he finally remembered what happened before that blow to his head?
Bailiff, don't just stand there. Seize him.
It's no good. I can't restrain him.
You're not even near him, you bloody git. No me in despair, for I am Tenma Taro, demon lord of the yokai.
Mr. Justice, do something! Since when am I responsible for court security?
Apollo, this is your chance. We might get some new information out of him.
Your Honor, seeing as our client has something new to say, I believe due process demands that we hear him out, even if he is a yokai. When you put it like that... Still, I believe testimony by a yokai is unprecedented in the legal world. We'll take testimonies from ghosts, but yokai, that's where we cross the line.
Unprecedented in absurdity, more like.
Alright then, Mr. Debut Tenma, or shall I say Mr. Tenma Taro? Your testimony, please.
I shall now speak of recollections most real, courtesy of my host, Damian Tenma. Heed these words, mortals, for hear them but once you shall, ka. The ruler of demonkind. Barely conscious was Damian there amid the darkness. Suddenly two yokai did appear. On one side, I, Tenma Taro, ruler of demonkind, and on the other, my mortal enemy, the nine-tailed fox.
What is my life? So is the defendant asserting that the room he was in was very dark at the time?
Strange as it may be, yes, indeed all was in darkness.
And the part of Tenma Taro and the nine-tailed fox being there?
Yes, that too. Tenma Taro towered overhead, and the nine-tailed fox glittered gold.
I call animal abuse, Your Honor.
It would seem the defendant's recollections are not to be trusted.
Yes,
well, truth be told, my host's recollections are still a bit fuzzy. As if half-dreamt, that happening lingers in his mind. Apollo, maybe I can help here.
Really? Oh, you mean...
Yeah, I can hear it. The discord in his heart. I sense an unusual emotion in the mayor's memory of the event.
Okay, I just hope your findings don't come back to haunt us. Again!
Okay, for this one, we just have to go over here. Actually, no, it's the final one. Pinpoint happiness. Because none of this is happy like an angry fox.
Got it!
When the nine-tailed fox appeared, you not only experienced shock and sadness, but also something like joy as well.
Joy? Perhaps it was joy at the light coming to my eyes at long last. A long and terrible creaking did pierce the silence. And then there was light. On reflection, it was a door that did produce that infernal racket.
A creaking door? Oh, you must be talking about the forbidden chamber door. It does make a lot of noise.
So this means the forbidden chamber really was opened. But what about the sudden light he described?
I think I know. He mentioned darkness and Tenma Taro towering overhead. Maybe the mayor wasn't really in the Fox Chamber at the time of the crime. Mr. Mayor, did the darkness that you were in happen to be here? The telephone! The air duct!
Take that!
The Forbidden Chamber? Was it not the Fox Chamber where the murder did occur?
Yes, but it all makes sense if you were in the Forbidden Chamber. That terrible creaky sound was probably the Forbidden Chamber's door opening. And the towering Tenma Taro you saw, most likely the Forbidden Chamber statue.
Why, yes! That will explain it! The darkness and the staff in the demon's grasp! But even if all that's true, then what about the nine-tailed fox?
Oh, maybe he was seeing things, just like Jinxie and her imaginary yokai.
Fantastical, Apollo. It's entirely possible. In a groggy, dreamlike state, people can misremember things in events. Misremember, you say? Let me think. Ah! I do believe I remember now. That was not the nine-tailed fox. It was... the Amazing Nine-Tails!
What?
I was at WrestleMania!
The Amazing Nine-Tails?
At first, this is but a dream, I thought. Now, however, most clearly do I recall it. 'Twas the Amazing Nine-Tails who did come open the Forbidden Chamber's door.
I'm sorry I asked.
The Amazing Nine-Tails, but that was the victim, Ultimate QB, right?
Yeah, why would he open the Forbidden Chamber? Was he trying to keep it sealed? And wasn't he kinda dead?
Never mind that, this is completely new information. Let me enter and run an update. Okay, go over here. Okay. Already went over that. Shaft of light. Okay, and pinpoint the sadness.
Got it!
When the Amazing Nine-Tails opened the chamber, bashing the darkness within, you felt joy? But did you also feel shock and sadness?
Yes, in the hazy depths of my mind, I do recollect something of that nature. I believe it was the fiend's cape of red. For when I did behold it, a great wave of sadness did inexplicably watch over me.
A cape of red?
Apollo, we reduced the noise level. Oh, but there's still a little left.
Tenma, why were you sad when you saw the red cape? Did you find it? Was it because it was a red cape? Because seriously, you don't know how many times I got chewed out for wearing my red coat into the office. Just Mr. Right, Apollo, why are you wearing that red coat? It doesn't look good on you. And then Trucy just outright laughing at me. She cackled for about 30 minutes straight while I had that thing on.
Why indeed?
What could this mean?
I guess his memory is still a little spotty. I know this because his latest recollection contradicts the evidence.
Yeah, it's one of those contradictions that slaps you right across the face.
Something this obvious could arise when someone is trying to force a fuzzy memory into a definitive shape. Apollo, I know what you have to do. You need to present evidence that contradicts the image you see.
Oh, so it's basically the same as the usual cross-examination process. Okay, time to review the evidence. Look out, contradiction, here comes justice.
Okay, basically get to the end, and then we just have to present the poster. Okay, present the Amazing Nine-Tailed Glossy.
Objection!
You said the Amazing Nine-Tails cape was red. Are you sure about that?
Yes, well, I do believe it was a red cape I saw, but...
Tenma! Does this cape look red to you?
Oh, that certainly does not look red. Not even scarlet or crimson either. Nevertheless, upon my liberation, something red did fill my eyes, fill my yet hazy field of view. And I thought to myself, the Amazing Nine-Tails is a red in a cape of red.
So you mistook that red something for this cape, huh?
Apparently so, and remembering it now brings a great sadness upon me. So the red something probably wasn't a cape after all. Maybe this great sadness he mentioned is something interfering with his memories.
Well, he would have seen the fox chamber behind the amazing Ninetales. What red object could he have seen there that would have been that shocking? I know! Could it have been... Mr. Mayor, was the red thing you saw this? It was this key! It was the hand cream, the statue!
Take that!
Something red that could produce a deep sadness. Could it be, Mr. Tenma, that what you saw was the alderman's blood?
Blood? Why, yes! It was blood!
Ah! Oh! Ah! Ooh! Ah! Ooh! Ah!
It's all coming back to me now! It was a red cape what I saw! It was lying behind the amazing Ninetales, the alderman's bloody body! Eek! Excuse me. His noise level is down to 0. I think he's remembered everything now.
Does this mean the amazing Ninetales killed Alderman Kyubi?
But the alderman was the amazing Ninetales, so how exactly would that work?
Hey, I asked you first! Well, Mr. Justice, you sure know how to make a complicated matter even more complicated. True, but at the time of the crime, our client was in the Forbidden Chamber. Moreover...
Silence!
Hoy! Don't you think this is strange? The little scamp has already confirmed her father to be in the fox chamber, but she said not about seeing the amazing Ninetales there.
Ugh! You just had to bring that up, didn't you?
Jinxie didn't see the bell there either. It's so weird. Who really was in that room then?
Would the defense care to share any theories with the court? Can you explain the inconsistency between the defendant's testimony and his daughter's?
Yes, we can.
Yes, of course. I can explain it. Because if I don't, we're in serious trouble.
Not with more of your bluffs and fairy tales, I trust. Fair warning, Justice Dono. I shall have your head if you fail to explain this.
Eep! What about a good old-fashioned penalty? Well, Mr. Justice, let's see you have a head worth giving on your shoulders. First of all, Mr. LaBelle was definitely in the fox chamber while it was locked. We also know that Mayor Tenma was in the Forbidden Chamber based on his testimony. These two facts are crucial to my explanation, so let's consider the following question. If the facts point to Laurent LaBelle and the victim being there at the scene, why did Jinxie Tenma see the victim and her father, Mayor Tenma? A very good question indeed. And I suppose you have an answer for us. Sadly, you would be supposing wrong.
You think she could have mistaken LaBelle for the mayor?
Well, if she did, then the question is, why did she do that? Well, how about an explanation, Mr. Justice? I believe the time for questions is over. The defense asserts that Laurent LaBelle was at the scene of the crime. However, Jinxie Tenma has testified that she saw her father collapse there. If she has, in fact, misremembered the event, what could have made her do so?
Jinxie was confused. LaBelle was disguised as Tenma.
The figure Miss Tenma saw was not her father. It was Laurent LaBelle disguised as Damian Tenma.
Silence!
That is a complete impossibility. Their faces are utterly unalike. How could you explain that away with a mere disguise?
Yes, they both do have incredibly distinctive faces. Maybe the disguise completely hid his face.
I think Jinxie would have mentioned if she couldn't see her father's face. And if it was that sort of disguise, wouldn't she have removed it?
All right.
Your sword is as dull as your mind, Justice Dono. Shall I show you what a truly sharp blade is capable of?
Ah, I think I'm past luck! Ah! I'm bleeding!
Are you okay, Apollo?
I'm not fine, am I?
Well, now that we have that little fairy tale out of the way, your boldness, your verdict, if you will.
Mr. Justice, I believe it's time for a verdict if you have no further arguments. Ugh! What's even left for me to do?
Apollo, remember what Mr. Wright always says. When you're stuck in a tight spot, turn the case upside down.
Turn the case upside down? He does say that, doesn't he? But I don't quite see how it applies here. Still, never hurts to give it a try, I guess. Let's see. Rather than Jinxie didn't remove the disguise, maybe she couldn't remove it. And rather than she didn't tell anyone about the disguise, maybe it was she couldn't talk about it.
A wrestler's mask is more precious than his own life. He never unmasked himself in front of others. But there are matches where wrestlers bow for the right to remove each other's masks. To have your mask torn off is the worst humiliation a wrestler could suffer. That's why their masks are more important to them than life itself.
And what about the fact that it was the Amazing Ninetales who opened the door? A mask that can't be removed in front of others. Can these facts turn things around? We got it all backwards!
Apollo!
I think we might have made a huge mistake.
Your boldness, I see no need to further indulge them in this silly little farce. The defense is no proof. They never did and they never will.
Then it seems I must announce my verdict.
Objection!
I do have proof!
Do you now?
Alright, but this had better be good, Mr. Justice. We can solve the remaining riddles by turning all of our assumptions upside down. Why did Jinxie Tenma mistook Mr. LaBelle for her father? Why she couldn't remove the costume or tell anyone about it in the first place? These riddles are inextricably linked to Mayor Tenma's secret identity. A shocking secret identity that will turn the entire premise of this case upside down. This piece of evidence clearly reveals Mayor Tenma's secret identity.
Take that!
Ah! What? Absolute claptrap! Poppycock! Balderdash!
We thought the Alderman was the Amazing Ninetales and the Mayor was Tenma Taro. That's why we believe the Mayor killed the Alderman in his lust for Ninetales veil. And it was the basis for the prosecution's entire case against our clients. However, we got the whole thing backwards! Mayor Tenma wasn't Tenma Taro at all. He was the Amazing Ninetales! What's this?
You'd best explain yourself, Justice Dono! And from where you derive such a far-fetched conclusion!
Jinxie, no doubt, knew the true identity of the Amazing Ninetales. He knew his identity from the second he appeared in the ring, thanks to his signature move, the Shovel Slam! But she couldn't tell anyone, no matter what. That's why she didn't say it was the Amazing Ninetales when she passed out. She's all passed out. Even though, unbeknownst to her, it was really Florent LaBelle in disguise.
Silence.
The accused and that deceitful dandy are utterly dissimilar in physical build and voice. The little scamp would have seen the difference.
Objection!
Remember, Mr. LaBelle has his very own brand of cosmetics. Why couldn't he fake a different build too? And anyone speaking through a mask would naturally sound different.
Silence.
Why did she not simply pull the mask off?
Objection!
A masked wrestler's disguise is more precious than life itself. We've heard this about 4 times. As a huge fan of the Amazing Ninetales, she would never dare unmask him.
Ah! Ah!
This case of mistaken identity also explains the riddle of the locked room. Then by all means, Mr. Justice, answer it for us already. First, Mr. LaBelle entered the room where the mayor and the alderman were talking. I suspect he brought with him coffee laced with some sort of sedative. Once the alderman was out cold...
Excuse me?
That's when Mr. LaBelle killed him! Now, Next, we'd look at the mayor, who he had also drugged into the forbidden chamber. Then he returned to the box chamber, slipped into some of the mayor's spare clothes, and completed the disguise by donning the amazing Ninetales mask. With his entire charade in place, Mr. LaBelle then let out a scream. The scream that led Jinxie Tenma to the scene.
So then...
The person who said, "I killed Alderman QB" was...
The person who killed Alderman QB was...
Yup, that was Florent LaBelle in disguise. The mayor never actually confessed.
Silence.
Humph. This is no more than guesswork and speculation. Now stop your jabbering and...
Objection.
No, you twisted samurai! This time you stop your jabbering and let me finish making my case!
Oh, you want to step up? You want to step up to me, do you, Justice Dono? Well, in that case, allow me to make you step down with some fists of fury. Take that! Oh! Apollo, don't let Simon push you out.
Athena, he punched me in the eye!
Ugh!
Once Miss Tenma left the scene, Mr. LaBelle, still wearing the mayor's clothes and mask, opened the forbidden chamber, so he could drag the mayor back out into the box chamber.
Oh, so the amazing Ninetales the mayor saw was...
Right, it was LaBelle opening the forbidden chamber. The second time Mr. LaBelle opened the door to the forbidden chamber, he happened to catch the thieving Mr. Filch by surprise. Startled, Mr. Filch in his Tenma Taro disguise ran as fast as he could from the room. As he did, he left behind a trail of feathers and tracks, and gave Miss Tenma the scare of her life in the hallway. With no one left to witness the events that occurred, Mr. LaBelle then proceeded to drag the sleeping mayor back into the box chamber. I see, well, that all certainly does make sense. Then, after dragging the mayor back into the box chamber, Mr. LaBelle threw the mask out the window and fled into the room.
Silence.
For this absurd theory to work, it requires that the defendant be the amazing Ninetales. However, he was the one pushing for the municipal merger. That such an individual could possibly be the amazing Ninetales is preposterous.
Objection.
The mayor was blackmailed into pursuing the merger. Mr. Tenma's life would have been Miss Tenma's life would have been in danger if he had openly voiced his opposition. That's why he created a secret identity as the amazing Ninetales.
This is madness! No one could possibly have such an insane plot!
No one except the killer as insane as his plot, and I'd say Florent LaBelle more than qualifies. Look at how he dresses! Look at what he sprays us with!
Foolish mortal! It is at your own peril that you forget who I am!
Shut up, you crazy man! But Mayor Tenma's okay now. Jinxie will be safe just as soon as Mr. LaBelle is arrested. You are the amazing Ninetales, aren't you?
Aye. You have quite the active imagination! Mayor Tenma is not the amazing Ninetales!
Objection.
What do you mean?
Well, the mayor admitted to it! Has the mayor admitted to it yet?
But that's just...
And even if he did admit to such nonsense, I would reveal the truth on Tenma Taro right here and now.
What?
Why you would dare reveal the secret? My good friend, the alderman told me all about it. But it wouldn't be good to expose the truth. What with the superstitions now, would it?
The truth by Tenma Taro. What's he talking about?
So go ahead, say it. Say, I am the amazing Ninetales. I dare you. Ugh.
Objection.
Wait! Will somebody please explain what's going on here?
Mayor Tenma will do anything to keep the truth behind Tenma Taro a secret. A dark, terrible truth that has been kept secret by the village superstitions.
And if the mayor admits to being the amazing Ninetales, you'll expose the truth?
right, I won't have him walking free because of some nonsense you made up.
So what now, Justice Dono? Without the man's admission, your theory is as useless as you are in battle.
I'll show you who's useless!
Apollo, don't you dare give up now.
I know! Your Honor, I believe Mr. LaBelle's statement warrants a thorough cross-examination. After all, the true identity of the Amazing Ninetales is the cornerstone of this case. You do have a point there. Please answer this court, Mr. LaBelle. Is the defendant the Amazing Ninetales or not?
Yeah, I'm just going through with the rest of this case, just because we're not that far off from the end. The Amazing Ninetales' true identity is not Tenma. The mayor would never admit to such utter nonsense. But if he did admit to such nonsense, I will expose the truth by Tenma Taro right here and now. And that would bring ruin upon Ninetales Vale, just as superstition says.
Talk about out of the pot into the fire! At this rate, the mayor will be found guilty for sure! Honestly speaking, if Mayor Damian Tenma is not the Amazing Ninetales, I'm afraid I don't see how the defense has much of a case here.
And let's just leave it all at that, shall we? We all know Alderman QB was the Amazing Ninetales anyways. I mean, that's how Ninetales Vale made a comeback. The Alderman was so popular.
There's gotta be a hole in that testimony somewhere. But I don't even know where to start.
Since we don't have any proof that the mayor was the Amazing Ninetales, then we'll just have to get him to admit it himself.
But if he admits it, LaBelle's going to expose the secret behind Tenma Taro. Ah! We are so close, I know it! The defense may cross-examine the witness.
The Amazing Ninetales' true identity.
Hold it!
This whole case only makes sense if the mayor is the Amazing Ninetales. I know you used his mask to create this illusion of a locked-room murder.
Silence.
Nothing more than idle speculation. You have no evidence now, have you?
Objection!
Mr. LaBelle knows what this statue originally looked like. That means he had to have been in the box chamber while it was still locked tight.
Sorry, but I heard about the statue from Alderman QB. If you don't believe me, just ask him. Oh, but what's that? The Alderman's dead! Looks like the joke's on you, my sweaty little friend. Apollo, you mind if I wring his neck?
Go for it! Wait in line, because I'm going first!
Temper, anyways!
Hold it!
The only nonsense here in this court is you and your assertions!
Tisk, such anger is terrible for the skin, you know. Beauty is like a flower that blooms forth from a serene heart.
Excuse me?
I wouldn't expect a wilted peasant like you to understand. Perhaps this fragrance will help blossom within you bloom. Ugh! You liked that, didn't you? Have some more.
Enough jabbering about blossoms and whatnot. Get on with your testimony before I slice you into a bouquet of cut flowers.
Oh dear, please excuse me. As I was saying, the assertions of our wilted attorney here is utter nonsense.
Hold it!
You'd be arrested, wouldn't you?
Yes, it's true. I would be sacrificed upon the altar of justice despite my innocence. But what a terrible loss that would be for the future of humankind's cosmetic needs. Cosmetics that no one else will have. It is a tragedy that must be averted. Defend me if you understand this.
Silence.
The only terrible loss is the time wasted by your ceaseless yammering. If you would avert the tragedy awaiting you and that vexing visage of yours, then...
Yes, I know. Get on with my testimony. Anyhow, suffice to say, Should the mayor admit to the defense's nonsense, I will make good on my threat and...
Hold it!
And just how did you learn the so-called truth by Tenma Taro?
Alderman QB told me all about it. The secret of the Forbidden Chamber and the truth behind Tenma Taro.
Why would he share secrets like that with you, Mr. LaBelle?
Because I am beautiful. Because of the Alderman's wife. I was looking after her while she was hospitalized. He appreciated so much he shared the secrets with me. Wait, did he threaten the Alderman in addition to the mayor?
Don't tell me that's how we learned how to open the Forbidden Chamber.
Needless to say, I'm not above revealing the truth behind Tenma Taro.
Hold it!
Do not gaze upon Tenma Taro. Do not tell others if you see him. Isn't that what the village superstitions say?
Exactly! Telling others what Tenma Taro looks like would reveal the truth. That's why the superstitions were written down in the first place.
And ruin coming to the village if you free him. Is that a warning not to expose the truth?
Bingo! And the truth is, Tenma Taro is a great green inspiring fortune. That's what the whole Battle of Ninetales Vale is about.
Tenma Taro is a great fortune. Come to think of it.
Only that it's the greatest get rich quick chance in the universe. Grandpappy told me all about it. Said there's an amazing treasure in there.
Could Tenma Taro actually be?
Tenma!
Tenma just has to be Tenma Taro, right?
Objection!
Please, Apollo, stop messing around.
Sorry.
How's the man supposed to admit to his secret? Okay, yes. I'm sorry I had to do that. I had to do it. I regret nothing.
Hold it!
Okay, skipping forward. Okay, and Forbidden Chamber treasure.
Telling the villagers that Tenma Taro is a terrifying yokai is what he scared them away from the Forbidden Chamber and that treasure within. That's how the treasure has been kept secret all this time.
Well. It seems our ace attorney has uncovered the truth that must not be revealed.
Mayor Tenma looks like he wants to keep the truth hidden as much as I do.
Tragedy is doomed to repeat itself as long as Tenma Taro exists. That's why the secret must be protected.
As long as Tenma Taro exists, huh? Mr. LaBelle, please add that statement to your testimony.
Okay.
Hold it!
So in other words, tragedy wouldn't occur at all if there was no Tenma Taro.
Yes, I suppose so, but that's wishful. Mr. LaBelle, yes? You don't say.
As long as Tenma Taro exists, huh?
Okay, all we have to do now is just go to the last statement and present the statue.
Objection!
Mr. LaBelle, what if Tenma Taro no longer existed? Revealing that truth would no longer be an issue, would it?
If Tenma Taro no longer existed... What on earth are you talking about?
Oh, apparently you haven't heard. Tenma Taro no longer exists, but I guess you didn't get to do a thorough search after the key was taken from you. Because when we searched the Forbidden Chamber, there wasn't any treasure there.
Really? Well, maybe you weren't looking in the right place. Sorry, got a case of the hiccups.
Sorry, but I proved that Tenma Taro no longer exists. Take a look at this figure. What do we have here? It looks like some sort of creature. We found this at the Forbidden Chamber. It's an Akuzi Kozo figure. The great thief Azuki Kozo used to leave them at the scenes of his crimes.
Are you suggesting that Tenma Taro has been stolen?
Yep, Phineas Filch's grandfather, a master thief, was the culprit.
And by that hideous, moronic caretaker's grandfather, no less! You! Ayo! My beautiful golden Tenma Taro was...
The greed inspired by Tenma Taro can no longer bring ruin upon Ninetailsville. Isn't that right, Mayor Tenma?
The root of all of tragedy would indeed seem to be gone. In fact, I now recall the Alderman revealing the secret to me on the day of our meeting. He must have been speaking of Tenma Taro, for he said to me the gold ingot was gone.
The gold ingot? You mean the treasure that is Tenma Taro's true form?
Recall, if you will, the scroll in the forbidden chamber. Tenma Taro is the yellowish object shown there. A giant golden ingot my nomadic ancestors bestowed upon Ninetailsville. In return for that gold my ancestors did receive from Ninetailsville, land that would become Tenma Town, but drive the villagers mad with greed to that great fortune. Bitter was their greed-fueled battle. It was as if they were possessed. My ancestors' gold became a curse upon their village, a curse of ruin. Thus it was the yokai Tenma Taro came to be.
So Tenma Taro and the village superstitions were merely fairy tales to scare people away?
Fairy tales or not, Tenma Taro made quite the mess of things. Yes, indeed, for there is no greater monster than a mortal man's lust for gold. Well, you know what they say. The love of money is the root of all evil. My ancestors did bring a terrible thing here to Ninetailsville. A thing so terrible that Tenma Taro, a monster just as terrible, had to be created to keep it a secret. Yet we have naught but love for the little village to which we owe our very existence. Tenma Taro would never seek to take over Ninetailsville in a merger.
Oh my, that was quite a shocking lesson in history. Mr. Mayor, now that we know Tenma Taro no longer exists, are you ready to admit your secret? You are the amazing Ninetails, aren't you?
No, don't do it! Please, no! Begone, you demented demon! Ahem, now where was I? The Golden Lord of Yokai, the amazing Ninetails is indeed me!
And that means Jinxie!
Yes?
The man wearing the mayor's clothes who you saw collapse in the box chamber, was he wearing the amazing Ninetails mask?
Uh-huh. That's what made me think it was Papa. And he had Papa's bloody shovel. He said he was going to reveal a secret that the Alderman killed me that day, so... So it really wasn't Papa I saw there, was it?
It was Florent's idea from the start. He advised me to reveal my secret identity to the Alderman.
Yes, Rube Goldberg machines have less elaborate steps than the Bell scheme.
You may rest now, little Jinxie. That monster's deception is through. Caw, 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 caw.
The true fact behind this case have finally come to light. Mayor Tenma did not kill Alderman QB, but Florent LaBelle did.
How dare you, peasant! Ah! Ah! No!
Silence.
Justice Dono, you should at least have a real blade in your hands if you decide to cross swords with me. Or have you mistaken this battlefield for a training ground?
What's this guy want now?
Evidence is like a razor-sharp blade that cuts through bone as though it were butter. But you have only blind guesses, a tall blade incapable of cutting even a cake.
Yes, you there, Mr. Justice. After all, evidence is everything in a court of law.
But what? They're right! Let's see some evidence! Of course, a perfect being like me wouldn't leave any incriminating evidence behind! This is the final battle, just as a samurai must live and die by the sword. You will live or die by the evidence you hold. My swift blade of judgment awaits.
Now present your conclusive evidence, or don't you have any?
Oh, crud! Do I have anything conclusive? Evidence? Oh, I have evidence!
You do?
Of course! It's just the conclusive evidence we need, too! I'm gonna finally prove Mayor Tenma's innocence! Here comes justice!
Yeah, basically, you know how the Danganronpa series, as well as basically Raincoat, they have the comic books? Well, this is the Ace Attorney's equivalent to that.
Let's review the facts. The most damning evidence against the mayor was the crime scene itself. The mayor and the victim were the only two people found in the room. Also, we thought the elder was killed because he was the Amazing Ninetales. Well, do we know now, of course, we were very off. The Amazing Ninetales is really Mayor Damian Tenma. That's why, when his daughter Jixie saw the Amazing Ninetales collapse at the scene, she mistook him for her father. Those are the facts we have all revealed. However, Mr. LaBelle asserts that he did not leave any evidence at the scene of the crime. But he didn't say anything about evidence outside the crime scene. Maybe he isn't as clever as he thinks he is. Does any evidence outside the crime scene provide clues?
Hand cream!
No, that's not it. The hand cream had Phineas Filch's prints on it. And because Filch had stolen it from LaBelle. That's not gonna help us nab the real killer, though. Maybe I should study the evidence again.
I just like doing those little side things.
Oh, I know, the Amazing Ninetales mask. It was found washed up along the river. What sort of glue does it hold? And what was about the hair left in the mask? Who does it belong to? Alright, that hair is Florent LaBelle's! I've ascended to the next plane of existence! Yes, now that's what I call conclusive evidence. It's go time! Well, Mr. Justice, do you have any conclusive evidence to present to this court? Of course I do! Observe this mask, if you will. That mask? How is that conclusive evidence? It's not the mask itself, but the white hair inside it. We originally thought it had belonged to Alderman Rex Cubey. Yes, but the Amazing Ninetales, as we now know, is Mayor Tenma, so...
But why would they have run a DNA test on the hair to verify it?
That is correct, so the question is, whose hair could this be? And the answer to that is the last person I've awarded before it was discarded. And that would be you, Mr. Florent LaBelle.
What are you talking about? I've never had Indians white hair like that!
Silence.
It would appear your coup de grace failed in its mark. This freakish fop is not the white hair type, because he's busy being one ludicrously garish color or another.
Objection.
No, Prosecutor Blackwell. It is you who has made a fatal error.
What?
Remember where this mask was found. It was washed up by the side of the river. With that in mind, this last piece of evidence will solve all the remaining riddles.
Take that.
Ah! The nuts!
What is that? This is Mr. LaBelle's own private brand of hair color. It washes out with just water. The court will also recall the Amazing Ninetales mask, washed up alongside the river. Washed up along the side of the village river with white hair inside it.
What's this? Are you saying that preening peacock's hair color is...
That's exactly what I'm saying. Miss LaBelle's hair color is a freaky work of fiction. But thanks to the river flowing through Ninetales Vale, we now have a real-life expose. Ah! The white hair of the mask. That's right. The white hair of the mask is conclusive evidence proving you're the real killer. The DNA test is all we need to prove it, and we both know we'll get a match. Admit it! Florent LaBelle, you were the one who killed Alderman Rex Cubey.
You peasant! How dare you! Ah! You profane my being like a bug. I'm like somebody going like a yelling. Ah! Ah! No, my makeup! I don't even know. Hello, this is LaBelle. What? The this is LaBelle. The sponsors have pulled out. LaBelle speaking. I'm fired. You mean I'm no longer the mayor's aide? Hello, this is LaBelle. What? There's a stratospheric damages claim against me. $100 million. I'm finished. Washed up. Stick a fork in me. I'm done. This is preposterous. I, Simon Blackwell, defeated.
Order! Order in the court! Well, this is quite the unexpected outcome. I must hand it to you, Mr. Justice. You really turned this case on its head, just like that other lawyer, Phoenix Wright.
Yeah, this was a judge act as if he's never seen Apollo do a case before. As if he was never around during Apollo's 4 other cases. But then again, Phoenix was masterminding basically 2 of them.
Wait, that was a compliment, right? Monsieur Blackwell, what have you done with Florent LaBelle?
The defaced man is withered like a flower without water. One of the officers is currently tending to him with a sprinkler.
Wouldn't that just wash even more of this makeup off?
Allow me to explain the actions of the guilty party in detail. The motive, of course, was to steal the gold ingots known as Tenma Taro. However, if you are allowed into the manor due to its cultural ties to Nine Tails Vale, LaBelle set in motion plans to gain access to the manor and the gold within via the merger. But the efforts of the Amazing Nine Tails saw those plans come to a halt. And thus LaBelle murdered the alderman and attempted to pin the blame on Mayor Tenma.
I see, but what I still can't comprehend is why he would go after the gold in the first place. This LaBelle doesn't look like someone who is in need of financial aid.
LaBelle hid his past well, much like he hid his beauty with makeup. He's mired in debt. Debt due to pouring money into a brand only he could love. Which is why he sought the gold with such ferocity.
Too bad for him, someone else had got to do it first anyways. I see, very well then. I believe it's time I declare a verdict. This court finds the defendant, Damian Tenma,
Not guilty.
Court's adjourned.
April 19th, 1:23 p.m. District Court. Defendant Lobby. Number 3. That was some seriously good lawyering, Apollo. Even I didn't see that coming.
Just got lucky, I guess.
You banished Tenma Taro from Ninetailsville like you were some kind of exorcist. There's still one thing I don't understand. How come Mr. LaBelle didn't kill Mayor Tenma too? He could have stabbed so the man murdered the alderman, then died from a counterattack. That would have removed at least one possible fly from his ointment. I was wondering about that too, but I have a hunch LaBelle was biding his time. He was planning on exposing the Amazing Ninetails' true identity himself.
Huh? But why?
Because the mayor was the Amazing Ninetails. Had LaBelle succeeded in framing Mayor Tenma for the alderman's murder, the wrestler's popularity would have plummeted once his identity was revealed.
Oh, I get it. If the Amazing Ninetales was just killed, he'd die a hero. But if he was proven a villain, his fans would abandon him, making the merger that much more easier.
Right. Then when the merger was completed and everything cooled down, he'd be able to search the Forbidden Chamber at his leisure. What an insanely intricate plot!
Caw, a most excellent job clearing my name. A feat worthy of the Demon Lord's approval.
Why do you act like Tenma Taro again?
Let this be of no concern to you.
How could it not concern me?
Tenma Taro, be gone!
Ah! Jinxie? Seems like ages since I've laid eyes on you.
Papa, you're finally back!
Yeah, sorry.
Why are you mistaking me for Apollo Justice? That worm! Yes, it would seem Tenma Taro is no match for you.
I'm not scared of yoga anymore.
You're the supreme man, Jinxie. Isn't that great?
Thank you for all you've done. Seeing you guys in action, it made me feel like I don't have to be afraid anymore.
Wait, is Dixie actually smiling?
This is all thanks to you two. Too bad the amazing Ninetales will have to retire, though.
Aw, how come?
Once everyone hears I'm the amazing Ninetales, my fan base will nosedive. After all, I'm not the most popular of people. Another reason for my secret identity. I don't see how I could possibly continue.
Hee hee, I think you misjudged yourself. Take a look outside.
Say, now that you mention it, what's all that noise out there?
A big crowd gathered inside the courthouse once the news broke. They brought pitchforks and torches. Seems like they want a glimpse of Mayor Damian Tenma, the man behind the mask. And to root for your return to the wrestling ring.
Rooting for me? But I thought I was nothing more than a malefactor in their eyes.
The only one who really matters is Jinxie. Show her how cool you really are.
Yeah, you're the coolest when you're out there fighting in the ring, Papa. You kill them with the shovel.
Jinxie!
Here, I think you'll be needing this.
Take that!
Thank you. Now, if you would excuse me, shoveling time! I don't want to keep my fans waiting.
Ninetales Vale forever!
I sure hope they can settle the problems between Tenma Taro and Ninetales Vale.
Me too.
I'm sure they'll be fine. After all, the blackmailer slash killer is behind bars and the merger is no longer an issue. Plus, the Amazing Ninetales is obviously still a hit, and I suspect Ninetales Vale will be too.
And it's all because we believed our client, just like you said.
Okay, people, now that we've got that one in the bag, let's go get something to eat. I'm starving.
Sounds good. I've been so nervous I haven't eaten since yesterday.
Better keep eating, Apollo, or you might have to start looking up at me. Oh, right, you already do. Too late.
Huh? I'm definitely past my growth phase, and you should be past yours too. You're not helping, Athena.
Are you kidding me? I'm just getting started. Ready or not, it's face stuffing time.
Keep eating like that. The only direction you'll grow is sideways.
Very funny. But I've got a hollow leg. I can eat as much as I want without getting an ounce.
Really? Wow, I can't wait to see this.
Calories? Ha! Just let them try to stick to me.
Alright, you two. Let's go get going before the old man closes the shop. Now comes the real challenge, Athena. Eating at Eldunes. Let's see how smug you are stuffing your face when you get sodium shock.
Oh, please, Apollo. I can handle it. Athena, after trying to eat a third bowl. Oh my god, it's so salty. I'm dying, Apollo. My mouth is dry. I can't breathe, Apollo. My chest burns.
I warned you.
Hey now, don't tell me it's all my noodles. Get her out of here. Eldune's Noodles isn't an all-night stand, you know.
I'm with Mr. Wright. Let's go.
I've been waiting to have a bowl from there ever since Mr. Wright told me about him. And then Athena just gets a giant block of salt. What? This ain't noodles. It's a block of salt. Well, that's what we're serving here. Block of salt. Well, what are we waiting for? The noodles are on me today, so I expect some serious eating from you two. Phoenix hates his subordinates, because basically everyone knows you can't eat more than 2 bowls of Eldunes without dying. Eldune himself stated that as a disclaimer. Yay, thanks, boss.
No, Athena! Don't believe him! That's his way of trying to not pay us!
I won't let you down.
Athena has no idea what she's getting into! Don't eat the third bowl, Athena! Mr. Eldune's noodles are so hot and salty! 2 bowls would kill a man!
Yeah, exactly. I'm sorry. I was getting Tubal. Yeah, basically, I knew that Tubals was a limit of sorts. That was our first case together, and it felt like nothing could bring us down after that. The dark age of the law seemed so distant, so irrelevant to our small, cozy office. But little did I know that it had been lurking all along, right there behind us. The first time it made itself known was during the murder at Themistic Legal Academy, though we're not going to be doing that case next. That case would mark the twilight before the stark, cold night that was to come. Yeah, but basically, we're not going to be doing that case next. Essentially, we're gonna basically, because this game has a case selection mode, much like how the greatest Ace Attorney handled it, we're actually going to be dealing with the DLC case next. Because trust me, the DLC case is based, even though when this game originally came out, the DLC case came out basically as an end game sort of thing. You want to play that case third just to make the story blend a little better. Because if you play the DLC case after completing the game, it kind of feels a bit hollow. So what we're going to do, we're going to save the game. And then we are going to return to the main menu. And then what I'm going to do then is I'm going to establish a second save file where we're basically tackling the DLC case. Yeah, so anyways, episodes. Okay, no. Yeah, you can also select where you want to go in the episodes, which is pretty cool. So yeah, we're, instead of basically doing this one, yeah, love how basically the game's like, Edgeworth's here! We're spoiling this to you, damn it! Yeah, basically, yeah, when this game originally came out, this Edgeworth coming in episode 5 was basically just this big plot twist. It was just this big bomb, is this big spoilers bomb, but then basically just here it's like, we're spoiling it for you right here and now. So anyways, let's go to the special episode, Investigation Day 1. Hopefully they show the intro cutscene. Yeah, the bonus episode will just be the intro cutscene to this case. Okay, thank you.
My name is Phoenix Wright, head of the Wright Anything Agency and a lawyer. Although, I was doing something else entirely for a while there. As for why I decided to formally get back into lawyering, let's just say there's unfinished business to take care of. Anyway, I thought I'd reminisce about my first case back on the job. And what a case it was. It happened only a few months after Athena joined our office.
Special episode, Turnabout Reclaimed.
Captain Morla! He made it just in time! We be pirates, we love to sail the 7 seas. Just a bunch of scallywags who are as free can be. We swim through storms and waves, all because you see grand treasure and adventures waiting just for me.
July 20th, 12:37 p.m. Wright Anything Agency. Today is my first day back on the job as a lawyer. Anyways, I think now would be a good time to end things off. Anyways, I really appreciate that you stuck around to watch this episode. You're a great viewer, and I hope you come back for the next one. If you like the video, like, subscribe, comment, share, do everything you want. With that, see you next time. Bye.